Hi, Duckaroos. How the heck are you? I'm going to be Tom the Beer and Whiskey Whisperer for the purpose of this video, even though it's not in the description because I just figured out what I was doing up on the fly. I just got home from work. It's a long day, man. It's been a long week. Uh, oh, let me see. Make an adjustment there. See if that helped. There we go. I know I'm not really in this pub, but little things bug my OCD. Anyways, I digress. Let me fix this up here too. There we go. Now we're in. Now we're in business. Let me see if this will work. Bear with me, folks. How the heck are you? I am Tom the Beer Whiskey Whisperer for the purpose of this video. I've got a Springfield Brewing Company beer. I've also got a Teakida Spirits product to share with you. There we go. Let's see if that worked. I'm trying to do a couple things here. Bear with me. I never know if it's working or not because I'm not very, let's just say I'm technologically challenged anyway. Let me try one more thing here. There we go. And we're in business. Okay, I'm going to set this down now. I am Tom the Beer and Whiskey Whisperer for the purpose of this video. How the heck are you? Hey, Todd, how are you, brother? Must be late in your neck of the woods. You're right at midnight. I worked late tonight. I'm going to post your comment there, bud. How you doing, man? So I'm going to open these products right in front of you today. I didn't open them to take pictures earlier like I sometimes do. It's not really that season, but I was kind of in the mood for it. This is their from Springfield Brewing Company. It's their Bon Zari Night. This one came out on Black Friday. See on the can it says, "Oh no, I grabbed an older one. Didn't realize I grabbed an older. That I grabbed a new one, man. Never mind. I grabbed the last. Actually, I grabbed the vintage 2021. We're gonna pop it since I'm here now. This is their bourbon barrel aged Zari Night Russian Imperial Stout with cocoa nibs and espresso. Yeah, I thought I grabbed the 23, but I grabbed the 21. I wasn't paying attention, man. Nevertheless, here we go. We're gonna drink it anyway because I'm not making another trip. I ain't going back to the fridge now, man. We'll go vintage today. How about that? Vintage 2021. We're going to pour it right in front of you, though. You see what I'm doing? I'm nothing if not transparent. Here we go. Look how beautiful that looks. Let me get it all in here. Let me show you that vintage date on it so you can see I'm not pulling your chain. All right, we got that out there. Let me show that to you. Boy, that's beautiful. So I kind of want that to, oh gosh, wow, you can really tell that's aged. Wow, those cocoa and espresso notes are, whew. So I picked this product up, about 3 months ago or so. It's the Oba Pearl Date Brandy from Teakida, sister company to Springfield Brewing Company. It's 80 proof, so it's not big. It's really interesting, though. And again, I'm going to pour it right in front of you here. I've got my Teakida glass. I don't know if that's still considered a Glencairn. It's kind of a different shape, but I am going to measure it, though. I like to know, I want to know how much I'm drinking. Didn't used to as a younger person, but now I tend to want to measure. Got a 2-ounce glass here, so I'm going to put 2 ounces in. I had just a little more. Might have had just shy of 2 ounces there. I'll make sure I got a solid 2 ounces in this glass. And we can always add more if we want, can't we? Yeah, let me show you that bottle one more time. Over Pearl Date Brandy. Show you my glass. Oh man, this stuff is just nice. It's different. Date brandy. So there's a little bit of sweetness there. Almost feels like a little bit of molasses. You definitely feel those date notes. You might feel it as raisin. Oh yeah. Gosh, that's nice. A very pleasant spirit to drink. A little bit of vanilla in there as well, and you just get a hint of oak and a little bit of spice in the finish. Just a little bit tingles on the tip of your tongue there. As always, have any questions or comments, please put it up on the screen. I'll answer almost anything unless you're being a colossal douche. I like to get back in a rhythm to doing my at the pub shows again. My schedule's been a little different lately, so I haven't been able to put it in place. I haven't been actively seeking guests because I haven't been able to have a consistent schedule. And when I get to where I can have a consistent schedule, then I'll start actively looking for guests again. I was getting near the end of this brandy, so I thought we'd have some. I kind of forgot about it. I've probably got one more little bit left in there. Geez whiz. I'm old and tired, man. I'm old and tired. It's been a week. Oh yeah, that's nice. This really has aged well since 21. Oh, it's not quite 3 years old. Because they usually come out right about Black Friday, so I figure we're about 2.5 years on this one. I thought I had grabbed the new one. I really wasn't paying attention. The label was a different color. I should have noticed, but I'm about half-ass colorblind anyway, so I didn't really put that together, man. I didn't really put that together. anyway, I digress. I'm tired. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. Put in about 21 hours the last 2 days, and I'll be honest with you, I've done stuff like that in my younger days, but got even longer days than that. But now as an older person, yeah, those days hurt, man. Everything hurts, man. I could have opted for a muscle relaxer, but I decided to go alcohol instead. Let me set that down. Pick up my brandy here. Date brandy. Man, this stuff is good. It's really good. It's rather subtle, right? You got this really subtle sweetness going on. Almost feels like a little bit of honey. Then you feel those fruit notes. Again, you might pick up some date and or raisin, depending on how you feel it. And just a very light oak and a hint of spice right at the very end. Gosh, that's good. Just one of those. Yeah, it's a very subtle spirit. Yeah, no, it's not the same, man. Back when I was working for the evil retail empire, yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I'd put in 12 to 16 hour days rather routinely, but a couple of 10.5 hour days back to back, it kind of hurts a little. My old feet aren't the same, man. Everything hurts. Not complaining though. I really enjoy the job. It's just, it's a little wear and tear. I've never had a job that I've enjoyed so much as the one I'm doing right now. really look forward to going to work. I've never had that feeling before. But I work with and for some great people, and that's kind of the difference. I've never worked for folks as good as I work for now, and I never worked with folks quite as good as I do now. Just a big family there, man. It's awesome. Oh man, yeah, this got to just a nice amount of age on it for everything is just kind of mellowed out. Like I thought I was grabbing the 23, but I grabbed the 21 by mistake. I'll post your comment. Hefe, I hope you're doing all right. We need to find a day to knock a couple back together. I imagine both of our schedules have been a little crazy lately. I am off tomorrow, but it's Mother's Day, so I probably won't be out socializing. And typically I'm off Tuesdays and Wednesdays now, and some Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Sunday, but that's subject to change too. Mother's Day tomorrow is going to be a little different because my mom just passed away about a week ago Thursday, so it'll be a little different. It's a tough one for us anyway. With my wife, we lost our son to cancer, so it's really difficult for her. We don't really plan anything typically. Just kind of play it by ear. I see what she's feeling like, and then we do it from there. Vanessa, hi, good to see you. Yeah, let me know when you're free, man. We got to hit a couple breweries, or at least one. Find one centrally located for it. I've been trying to get to Hold Fast. I've got a couple friends that go to Hold Fast every Tuesday, and I like to stay for the jazz, but it doesn't start till 7, and usually by 7, I'm ready to go home. They get there between 4:30 and 5, and 5 to 7. That's about 2 hours drinking time is all I've got in me anymore. But I do like to listen to the jazz because they're really good. Like to get to Springfield Brewing Company every once in a while because I've got a mug out there that I like to visit occasionally. I can't get out there on Mondays anymore because I'm working Mondays. Do after 6 on Tuesday. Okay, we need to keep that in mind. Maybe we can meet at Hold Fast and listen to some jazz. The Jazz Festival, Montreal. Oh man, I've never been to that, but I bet that was amazing. I've never been to anything that big. And this thing really has mellowed out nicely. God Almighty, that is good. You really feel those cocoa nib notes with the espresso. Oh, cheese whiz and bacon. That's delicious, man. Got a little gnat over there. Oh, that brandy's just delicious, man. Man, that was good. Going to a rock concert near the end of the month here on May 24th. I bought tickets a while back. Tickets. I bought a ticket. Just one. Saxon and Uriah Heep are coming to town at the Gallows Theater here in Springfield. I'm looking forward to that because I've never seen Uriah Heep actually, but I haven't seen Saxon. Well, I didn't realize at the time that it's been 40 years until I looked up on their website. This is their 40th, 40th anniversary tour. So, holy crap. We all got old somehow. But what the hell happened, man? Anyway, someone asked me, how old are these guys? Well, hell, I don't know, but I'm going to be 59. And they were probably a decade older than me at the time. So I don't know. Uh, I get asked every once in a while, are there any original members left? Well, hell, I don't know. Quite frankly, I don't care. That really, that doesn't play into my decision at all because it's more about the nostalgia. It's more about the idea of the band, to be honest with you, for me anyway. For both bands, Uriah Heep and Saxon. I mean, hell, as long as they play, as long as Uriah Heep plays a Stealing and Easy Living, I don't care. Want to hear Wheels of Steel from Saxon and a few other tunes? I imagine they both have newer material out, so I imagine they're going to want to focus on a lot of that. But I know they've got to play some nostalgia for us old folks. When I realized it was on my birthday, I felt like it was a moral imperative to go, and I asked my wife if she minded if I went to the show. She says, "Do I have to go?" She said, "I said no." She says, "Well, then you can go." It's funny when I tell people I'm going to the show by myself on my birthday, they get sad, and I enjoy going to stuff by myself. The Wailers, no kidding. Oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't know that show was happening. I missed that one. The Wailers, wow. I bet that would be a great show. Yeah. I don't like. I like going to the smaller venues as I get older. I don't like lining fat cat pockets, right? So I'm skipping a lot of the big arena shows. I mean, when I looked into when Aerosmith was doing their regions, their deal in Vegas there. I looked up tickets and it was like over $500. So there's no way I ain't say doing it. I'd rather see folks that are trying harder. Uriah Heep, Saxon, for instance. Neither one might have been A-list bands at the time, but they were bands that you knew of. And then, I won't do SRO shows anymore. I'm too old. I don't want to stand for 2.5, 3 hours for a show anymore. I just won't do it. I love going to the small clubs, and some clubs will have seating, but some are only SRO, and I just won't do SRO shows. I'm just too old for that shit. Little bit of reggae. I'm probably not as big a reggae fan as you are. I'm more of an old rocker, but my taste varies. I also love jazz. Anytime I can see some great jazz, I'm in. Jazz is just a different animal to watch live. You're not going to see these wild stage shows, but you see just incredible musicians. I just love watching the fingers, of great jazz musicians, piano, bass, etc. Great jazz vocalists are just amazing. So anytime I get a chance to go to a jazz club, just to relax and listen to the music, because it's a different atmosphere than a rock show. Set that down for a second. No, I don't hate on reggae. Don't get me wrong. I just, I don't love it as much as a lot of folks. I can dig some Bob Marley upon occasion, and some others. I certainly like, more nouveau uh, punk reggae acts like the Interrupters or the Mighty Mighty Boss Toe. I love to catch acts in clubs when I can. Several years ago, I think it was 2018 when I caught the legendary Denny Lane at the Riff here in town, and that show is just freaking amazing, man. Denny Lane, a founding member of the Moody Blues, even though it is only on the one album, I think. But he also made his bones with Paul McCartney and Wings. So the guy was just amazing. So I did a meet and greet at the Riff. This was back in 2018, so it was a few years back, but not a whole lot of years back. And it was under, with tax and everything, for the ticket, a great ticket, a great seat, and a meet and greet. It was under $60 to meet a music legend. I mean, these are the shows I want to see. I paid $25 a couple years later to see Tommy Heath or Tommy Two Tone. That was a great show. Oh, I do love the Delta, man. It's been, well, it's been over a decade since I've been out there, but I do love that area. Clarksdale. I love blues shows, man. I saw Cedric Burnside many years ago. Now he won a Grammy a couple years back, but Cedric Burnside, the grandson of the legendary R.L. Burnside, that was a great show. He was playing with oh, I can't remember his name now. But for a while there was a period of time where I was going to almost solely blues shows because that was the music that was really talking to me. I felt like they were trying harder, right? They were giving you more for your money. A lot of blues acts are, damn that, that little fucking gnat. A lot of blues acts are have gone to more of kind of a blues rock, but you've got others that have kind of gone the other direction. There's one act I really love that I haven't seen in several years is Johnny Rawls, who was more, kind of blues, soul. Well, yeah, my musical tastes are rather eclectic. A lot of it just depends on my mood, right? Today, when I'm closing at work, the last hour usually switch over to some old school classic jazz like Tina Brooks or Lee Morgan, or I'll usually play Tina Brooks, True Blue, and then the algorithm will pick up other artists, so it'll play some Lee Morgan, some John Coltrane, some Miles Davis, that kind of thing. Tina Brooks was an interesting artist, man. One of the greatest, in my opinion, although there was really only one album to focus on. Then he kind of faded away, disappeared for about 25 years. But the album True Blue, Tina Brooks, if you're a true jazz lover, if you love Coltrane or Miles Davis, look up look up True Blue from Tina Brooks, and man, that album will blow your mind, man. The title cut True Blue is just amazing, but that whole album, man, oh jeez. Lee Morgan, first Cornbread, Sidewinder. There's just some Dave Brubeck. Who doesn't love Take Five? The Vince Guaraldi Trio. He's done other stuff besides, Peanuts. The Vince Guaraldi Trio, man. Wow. Of course, Miles Davis and John Coltrane, those two are on a whole other level. But there's something about that Tina Brooks album, True Blue, that really speaks to me in a lot of ways. I'm not really sure why, to be honest with you. It's just that the way the notes hit, the way it's played, I'm thinking, oh man, that just speaks to me. But I was an old rocker back in the '80s. I grew up in that Southern California music scene in the '80s. I left California in late '87 at the age of 22, but I grew up in that club scene. Going to a lot of clubs between 18 and 22. There were a lot of these bands were just making their bones. And I saw a lot of acts as they were just getting going. I think some of the I first started getting out there when I was 16. I won't tell you how I got in the club, but I did. Anyway, yeah, 16, 17, I was getting into a lot of clubs. But yeah, we spent a lot of time in the Hollywood music scene back in the day, but there were some great clubs in other parts of Southern California. I mean, for a while there, you had the Golden Bear on PCH that was really known for getting some great acts in. We had a couple showcase clubs in Anaheim that were actually this. It was basically, I think it started as a strip mall and became two showcase clubs. But anyway, the first one that was there was the Woodstock, and then Radio City came a little bit later. But Woodstock was known for the rock acts, the heavier rock acts of the time, and Radio City was more for new wave, or not necessarily just new wave, but more of the nouveau sound of the time. And I'm talking early to mid '80s. My first actual concert was at the Woodstock. They had a band called Gamma, which was a Ronnie Montrose project. It was for the Gamma 2 tour. Set that down for a second, pick up this beer. I was trying to remember the name of the opening act. I think they were called Sundown. They were rather well known at the time up and down the coast, but they never quite hit the big time. They played the Woodstock several times as a headliner, but they were just opening for Gamma at the time. And they weren't bad. They had more of a, I'd say Southern rock because they were a California band, but yeah, kind of had that country rock sound, if you will. The keyboard player for the band was really interesting because he had the look of the keyboard player from 10 years after. He had almost the identical look with the scarf and everything. But I loved. I was big into Gamma. I had their first two albums, Gamma 1, Gamma 2, at the time, and they were again. It was a Ronnie Montrose project. Some might know Ronnie Montrose. He never quite hit that big echelon, but he was a better guitar player than he typically gets credit for. But that Gamma 2 album was just amazing, but it just didn't get a lot of commercial airplay. But I talked my dad into buying me the ticket for Christmas because the show was in December, and I talked him into buying 2 tickets so I could take a friend with me. Tickets were $10, right? So it was a $20 Christmas gift. Oh, this was 1980, so $20 then is a little more meaningful than $20 today, right? But unbeknownst to me at the time, my dad actually, he said first he said absolutely not. I wasn't going to go. Of course, I wanted to be surprised when he gave me the ticket, but I did realize that he actually went to the club and talked to the club owner and told checked out the club before he allowed me to go. Now I don't know what kind of bullshit this club owner was spinning to my dad because that club was. It was kind of a den of iniquity, but for whatever reason, whatever that club owner said to my dad to convince him that his 15-year-old son should be able to go, yeah, it worked because we went. But yeah, the Woodstock, yeah, there were some shady things going on there. At 15, I saw some things in the bathroom that I hadn't seen before. We were standing in line, my friend and I, and somebody starts passing a joint up and down the line, and then there was another one. We said, "Oh, what the hell?" So the opening act comes on, and me and my friend are cheering the band on, and all of a sudden, the opening band finishes up their set, and my friend says, "I'll be right back," and he's gone. And then the headliner comes on, running my mind. I don't see my friend anywhere. Later, he was found passed out on the pool table. But that's a story for another day. Yeah, our 15 is today's 9th. Yeah, it was kind of a different time. I mean, growing up in the 70s in California was free range parenting before it had a name. So yeah, I mean, you got to be independent very young. I think maybe more so than kids today, because a lot of parents don't allow their children to experience things. in the name of protecting them. But I don't know that you're really doing them any good. And I'll be honest with you, as a parent, I was guilty of that as well. Yes, I didn't want my kids to I wanted my kids to be independent, but not as independent as I had to be at such a young age. You know, but I think a lot of parents kind of go overboard today. I get you want to protect your kids. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but growing up where you came home, did your homework, and were expected to be out of the house till the streetlights came on, you had to find a way to entertain yourselves. I think it helped with the imagination and social skills that things just aren't done the same way today. And I think the kids are suffering from that. But anytime you talk about free range parenting, there's always somebody that's going to freak out. You can't let your kids just run wild. Hell, we were telling our parents we're just going down the road. We might be riding our bikes 10 miles away. Nobody knew. As long as you were home at dinner time, it was don't ask and don't tell. Your parents didn't want to know what you were up to, and you didn't want to tell them. I mean, they said they wanted to know, but they really didn't. They wanted to know that you were just safe the whole time they were gone.
We have ghosts.
Yeah, something just fell in the corner where nobody was. I'm not really sure what happened, man. Anyways, whoa. My production manager's making a lot of noise in the background. It's stay. Anyways, I'm gonna finish this up. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and classic oversharer. I tend to share too much. I don't want to make light of a lot of things, even though it seems like it. I have friends that didn't make it through that, like a lot of us do. Some got caught up in drugs and other things, and I certainly made a lot of bad decisions in my teens and early 20s that I'm lucky to have made it through. But I think that I will claim to be a little bit guilty of this. I mean, sometimes as parents, we tend to hold on too tight rather than let the kids just go out and make the mistakes. Because that becomes a valuable learning experience, hopefully. Hopefully. Anyways, even though this isn't technically whiskey, still gonna say I'm Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, whiskey evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy. Sláinte. Well, thank Todd, Hefe, and Vanessa for joining in tonight. Anybody else? Hey, thank you for watching. I've already did my spiel, so I'm just going to end it. Have a good one, guys. Sláinte.